here we are. Welcome to Anchorage, Alaska, the race for 8.
Yeah, but I want to get them anyway.
And the men's quarterfinals. You said earlier
Someone
that
else?
the guy that has been to the most quarterfinals without making a semi was Andy Nett. If he did make the semi, does that ruin? Does that put somebody else in, like Emmett Peugeot, for example?
Emmett Peugeot's already been in the semis.
Okay, well, that's not good. Here we go. Andy Nett serving against Sean Lenning here.
I believe Andy won the first point here. We didn't see it.
Second serve.
Okay.
No, this is the second serve here. It was
got
appealed second serve, and they did not have line judges. So
yeah, we've got one of my favorite people reffing here, Dave, but he's not one of the most popular refs on the tour.
And Sean Lenning gets hit by that ball from Andy.
Well, how could he not get hit? I mean, those shorts are, circa 1999 basketball rec shorts.
Well, I lived most of my life in that year. And there's a point. Andy Nett gets a freebie. Sean Lenning comes into the tournament as the #1 ranked pro, I believe. But I don't think he's going to hold on to that #1 ranking no matter what he does, as Charlie Shanks, I think, is now the #1 player in the world.
Yeah, Sean has no chance to retain that #1 ranking, even if he were to win this event. And a lot of people may ask, well, how is that possible? He came in #1. If he wins, he doesn't stay #1. Well, the power rankings, Dave, are a 12-month rolling system. So the Salt Lake City event from last year will drop off. That was an event that Sean won. He picked up 10 points there. Charlie Shanks lost in the first round there and only picked up 2 points in Salt Lake City. So Charlie Shanks only trails Sean Lenning in the power rankings by 3 points. But he's already picked up 8 just by that virtue of that Salt Lake City dropping off.
Well, there's a slight correction there because Sean Lenning lost against Luis Moreno in Salt Lake City. So
you're right. Sean had 8.
Second.
Yeah, Sean had 8 points there, but it's still enough for Charlie Shanks to take over that spot because Charlie Shanks will pick up 6 here, which adds 4 to his total. The best Sean can do is add 2 to his total here.
2 serving 1.
And Dave, this is the first we've seen of, or excuse me, this is the first I've seen of Sean Lenning. You broadcasted his earlier match. Or I'm going to stand corrected now for the 3rd time, Dave, in this awful conversation I'm having with myself. This is the first time we've seen Sean Lenning on the webcast in this event. It's the first time we've seen him on the webcast since Tucson because he wasn't on the webcast in Houston. So we can only go by what we've heard. We've heard he's not playing well, but thus far he looks like Sean Lenning.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a break now for
know,
a little bit. That was bad. That was one of the worst moments of my broadcasting career.
You are holding a conversation with yourself right now, and that it is official. And it wasn't because of me. The stopwatch actually told me.
Yeah.
Although there was some good content there, the stopwatch did actually officially put the complete clamp down on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to sit a couple plays out.
Thank you.
And what I'm seeing right now, Dave, is Andy Nett not having the self-belief.
No, and he's given some freebies here to
First
Sean.
timeout, Andy.
This is a timeout not to ice Sean, but to maybe rejuvenate Andy, as Andy Nett took that timeout there to try to say, what am I doing? Can we start this whole match over, please? Because I'm just in here all out of sorts. Playing Sean Lenning puts you into that sort of I'm all out of sorts mentality, as Sean comes in here with a quick 5 points, and he's doing it with that typical unorthodox sort of approach that Lenning has. Nett just cannot keep his feet. He's been on the floor out of 4 of those 5 points from Sean Lenning. Sean's putting wrinkles on this ball, hitting major reverses, coming back inside on Andy, throwing hooks. Really difficult to play a guy that's got power like that. And also what I'm seeing early here from Sean is amazing serve. And with that serve, he's just setting up all the action. You're watching the Race for 8 event as we are live in Anchorage, Alaska, where it's been snowing all day long. And by the way, daylight is nearly 24 hours here. I never really see it get dark. So it's certainly a unique environment where it's just constantly snowing. And we're at sea level, which is...
You don't know when to wake up here because...
Serving 1.
I've never stayed awake for 24 hours and never been tired. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but it's just... I've yet to be tired, and I've yet to go to sleep for 3 consecutive days. So it's a very weird place. if you watch that movie, The Fourth Kind, which was based out of Juneau, Alaska, I can see why the aliens decided to abduct.
Is that a slapstick comedy?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Look at that beautiful shot right there.
That's not on my
Sean
radar
Lenning.
screen then.
Oh, so
Sorry.
you don't watch it if it's not slapstick?
That's
okay.
I mean, I'm just honest with myself. Is there something wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with being honest.
Yeah.
8 serving 1.
We're at 8-1. Sean Lenning's just doing what Sean Lenning does. The crowd has to just dig this here. They don't get to see this type of play very often. I mean, who does? Sean Lenning, power punch. He'll catch up to this, by the way. Unable to get it to the front wall, though.
Sean looks like he's really pacing himself now, Dave. That's a ball that if Sean's in clampdown mode, not only is he there, he's in a position to shoot that shot. Right now he says, you know, I've got an 8-1 lead. I'm not really in the best shape of my life. I don't need to kill myself here early in this match.
Short.
And Dave, just like you see from most great servers, they get down and it's very difficult to find your spots on the serve, mainly because you're just not in the box enough to get that rhythm.
Sean's hustling for that. And Andy is unable to dive back and get it. He's mad he was going to throw it against the wall, but referees give warnings here for that. We've seen it a couple times
8
now.
serving 1.
Well, the day Andy Nett gets a warning or a technical, Dave, will be the day I leave the sport. I just don't ever see it happen.
Well, hold on. I'm going to run down there and knock on the door.
1 serving 8.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Huh.
Sean Lenning here is a crowd favorite. I mean,
8
if you watch
serving 1.
the Deadliest Catch or some of those Alaska reality shows, Alaska Gold, I mean, you'll see that the crowds that they have in those reality series, that's what we have here.
Yeah.
Microcosm City. I know that you don't watch anything but slapstick, so I'll just talk to everybody but you.
Okay.
9 serving 1.
Another free break for me. Perfect.
Look at how fooled Andy Nett is on virtually every shot Sean Lenning's hitting down that right wall. I don't know what Andy is thinking was going to happen.
1 minute.
Dave, this match is only 6 minutes old, and Sean Lenning already about 33% of the way towards the semifinals, and he's made it look really easy. At this pace, Dave, this match will be over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but only 8 minutes into it, Sean Lenning has already forced Andy to take 2 timeouts. I mean, he only has one more and the halftime, so it's certainly interesting what's going on here with Andy, who's got a prime opportunity to make his first semifinals of his career. I would say this is the best opportunity of his life, and Sean Lenning's making him look like he's not played handball before.
Well, don't forget, Dave, Andy Nett did take Luis Moreno to a tiebreaker at the Players' Championship. Had a pretty good opportunity there, of course, against the #1 player at that time.
Okay. But that's Luis Moreno. We're talking about Sean Lenning.
Yeah, I mean, as far as...
do you need to take another timeout?
Well, I'm saying as an actual opportunity in a match. Now, on paper, this probably is his best opportunity.
Okay, let's play ball.
Andy has not fared that well in quarterfinals, Dave. He's been in at least 6, and I'll get that official number to you, Dave, but he's been in at least 6 quarterfinals. He's really only been competitive in one of them. Remember, Dave, against Nadi Alvarado,
11 serving 1.
he lost 21-17, 21-20 at the U.S. Open 2011. That was a quarterfinal match. That match ended on a controversial call where Nadi pre-celebrated to ice that win on a ball that should have been a hinder after Andy had outscored him 17-2 in the last 19 points of that match. I know you remember that well, Dave.
Oh, yes.
13 serving 1.
And now Andy trying something different here, Dave. He stood at the restraining line for that Sean Lenning return of serve. It didn't do him any good. He gave Sean one of the biggest setups Sean's had in this match, but Sean puts it in the floor.
1 serving 13. Short.
And Dave, Sean's looking to take this lob serve on the way up with his left hand and power punch kill it into the left corner right in front of Andy Nett.
Second serve.
Dave, you're not going to find that in any handball textbook.
Well, you know I collect those.
Yeah. Well, I know that you've read Mike
2
Lennox.
serving 13.
text cover to cover a number of times, and I don't know if you've seen that play in it.
That's a good point.
And Andy now with his 8th unforced error here in the first half.
13 serving 2. Two serving 13.
Oh, beautiful shot from Andy. He's got Sean pinned behind him, and Andy just pinches that right corner, sends that ball as far away from Sean as it could have possibly been. And that's, Dave, while you have such an incredible understanding of geometry and spatial awareness here in handball, it not only trains both sides of your brain, Dave, but also forces you
4 serving 13.
to think about angles, theorems, derivatives, which I know that you've studied extensively.
Yes.
I thought it was a point.
I'm into derivatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's not fun about getting deep into a
5 serving 13.
Calc 2 derivative?
Score here is 5-13. Andy Nett trying to just get something going.
Well, he's got something going right now. He's scored 4 consecutive points.
Well, if you go to the roof with Sean, you are taking him out of that offense. But of all the guys that can do that right there, Sean will try to make offensive shots out of it. He's going to do it again.
Oh.
He felt it the first time. He missed it, and he got it the second time. That's where you just can't get lackadaisical. You have to take the opportunities. He went with Sean. Sean tried for it. That was his gauge. Second time he got the actual kind of almost a kill shot with that overhand punch.
See, now, Dave, I'm one of these guys that doesn't think these 25-point matches are ever over. I mean, Andy Nett can cut this lead maybe to 7 or 8 by halftime and then take that momentum into the second half. And, Dave, things change coming out of halftime. We've seen that a lot. We saw it in the Super Bowl, in fact, this year.
Well, we just need to turn the lights off, I guess.
Short.
Well, Dave, that was clearly an NFL conspiracy
Second serve.
to bring that game back to competitiveness.
Well, I'm glad to see that you finally have jumped onto the conspiracy
On
wagon.
it.
Oh, I'm on, and I've been on.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
So you're not off the wagon then?
No, I'm on the wagon, which is,
13 serving 5.
I think, a good thing if you're a drinker. Or is it off the
Point.
wagon that you're seeking?
No, it's,
14
I guess,
serving
on.
5.
On is what you want.
Oh, yeah. Does on mean that you're drinking a lot? Or?
No, you're on the I'm not drinking wagon.
Okay.
When you come off the wagon,
Yeah.
not a good thing.
Oh. Okay.
We call that a Thursday in my trailer park, by the way.
5 serving 14.
Now, Andy Nett has a 6 after his name here. I don't know if that is his username on Twitter. I don't know if we should throw a hashtag in front of that. Andy Nett 6. That's how many dunks he had last night in the slam dunk
14-75.
contest here in Anchorage that gave him 9.7 and above.
Well, actually, Dave, the dunk contest is generally 10 dunks per dunker, but after 6 dunks, they said there's no way for anyone else to win this competition. You've already accumulated more points than anyone could with 4 more dunks, so you're done. You win. It was strange, though, Dave. They gave him a convertible
3 minutes, guys.
as his prize in Alaska. What are you going to do with a convertible in Alaska?
What I find odd about that is they gave
Yeah.
him the convertible, and the first thing he did, he dunked over the convertible, which is, I guess, apropos, but it just seemed like, how does he have the legs? We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. It's halftime. Sean Lenning's in the lead. It's the Race for 8 for Dave Fink, Linda Manning, James Rutherford. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back. Stick with us. Racefor8.com.
are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Serving 5.
15-5. We're back after halftime as Sean Lenning does the Tiger Woods, goes to hit the ball and then catches it and says, "You know what? This is wet." There's a quick side out.
And that could be what Andy Nett needs, Dave, to work himself into this match. He's really not shown any signs of being in this match just yet.
Now, Sean Lenning recently was awarded a pair of yellow gloves bearing his name from Owen Gloves for his win at the LAAC.
Short.
Now, it only took 1 year for him to get the gloves, but that's not the reason why I brought it up.
Second serve.
He was so happy that he got those gloves that I took a picture and he said, "Here, look, take a picture with my name on it and then take another picture." And I'm not sure if I should wear these or put them in a frame. And I mean, he just kept going on and on and on about these gloves like I am doing now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to post a picture of those gloves on my
Dave,
Facebook
I don't know
page.
if you can post a picture, but last night at the Slam Dunk Contest, of course, the news crew was here. They handed the organizers of the Slam Dunk Contest, handed Andy, the Dreamboat, the keys to this beautiful Audi convertible. Andy said, "You know what, I'd like to just donate this to your favorite charity." And, you know, that's the kind of person he is, Dave.
Short.
Unbelievable.
He said, "I'll even pick up the taxes on it."
Really?
Yeah.
Second.
That's the type of guy he is. And
Yeah.
there's a nice crack serve there from Lenning.
17 serving 6.
He's a true philanthropist. Oh, an amazing shot there. Sean hung that second serve off the right side wall, right in the middle of the sidewall.
17.
And Dave, how frustrating is it for Andy? You know, he's made that jump from, you know, first round of 16 loser back in 2009 when Dave Chapman beat him in about 10 minutes with his loafers on, and he gradually worked his way into the consistent quarterfinals where he's been in every event thus far this season and late in last season. And he just now can't break that next barrier. I mean, how difficult is that for a guy, Dave, like Andy, who...
I don't think he's thinking about that much, but certainly he's hanging around this quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Not making it much further. I thought that he was going to get a lot of confidence after that World Championship, and I believe that ball either hit Lenning on the way through or he just decided to lay down.
I think it did hit him.
He might have felt it graze his leg as he was laying down there, but I'm not sure if that has affected Andy today or if Andy just hasn't lived up to what you and I thought would happen.
Well, I'm not
he certainly was
necessarily
peaking about a year ago.
Second.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying just today, but, you know, when he's home, when he's training, how hard is that for a guy? And Dave, I know I go through the same thing. You know, it's almost like, you know, you feel like the writing's on the wall before you even make your ticket.
17, serving
Yeah.
6.
And it's difficult, but at the same time, you know, every tournament brings a new opportunity.
Well, we'll see if Andy
6,
can
serving 17.
do something here. 6-17. We've all had high expectations for Andy. You've lost a couple times to him, and you know that he's got a
17,
brilliant game.
7, serving 17.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, that the second time I lost to him at the U.S. Open in 2011, I thought Andy was playing top 3 level handball. Oh, terrible serve and an amazing kill shot from Sean Lenning. It seems like those shoulder problems that plagued Sean Lenning, Dave, over the last couple of years are a thing of the past. It certainly doesn't seem like it's bothering him today.
I said hold it. Yeah,
Our referee, Dave, is just totally out of sorts right now. I mean, I know you've gone through stretches where you don't talk about the referee, but this is just abominable.
I actually have just decided that I love it. I used to hate it, but now I love it.
Oh, look at that pre-dive, Andy Nett style. Sets up this huge back wall, and
it's a back wall crop shot, they call it, when he hits the back wall and crops the back wall.
7, serving 17.
Yeah. No, they do call it that, actually.
I know they do. That's why I said it. I don't like to make up things.
Yeah.
I'm not a narcissist.
We actually heard that, Dave, in Wichita, Kansas on the bike tour, 2008.
Okay.
What a group of guys they have there in Wichita. They create a whole handball lexicon. Catchwords and phrases.
Now you're going to see some points here, and a timeout's going to be called from Sean Lenning, who's now frustrated with himself, as opposed to Sean being frustrated with somebody else. Good. Want to go back to that conversation I had about Sean Lenning, who was awarded those yellow gloves that he received at a recent pro stop. Isn't that a beautiful picture we posted on Facebook?
Very nice, yeah.
Sean Lenning gets the yellow gloves. He was so happy to have these gloves. He just kept walking around and saying, you know, I'm not sure if I should play with them, or, you know, if I make it to the finals, I will play with them, but I don't think that that'll be the only time I do, and I'm going to put them in a trophy case. He really didn't know what to do with these things, but he felt so appreciative. It's the little things that you can do for somebody, Dave, and I know that you've learned that in marriage and having a family, that it's really about the little things.
The big things don't hurt either.
Well, those are really nice.
Yeah.
But
I would say the big things are even better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really? You
yeah.
are. Okay. So you're going to go there?
Yeah.
You did. You are there.
Yeah.
Score here at 17-8. Actually, we say 18-17 or 8-17 as Andy Nett now taking over a little bit of that momentum from Sean Lenning. We got Sean to slap the back wall, call a timeout, and he's a little frustrated. And you heard a little bit of the chirping from the crowd here, who's been really obnoxious throughout this whole tournament, yelling at the opposite player. They're making it obvious who they're rooting for, and then you see Sean Lenning slap the back wall, which is very Anchorage, Alaska-esque, and then yet they started chirping about that as if they were offended.
17.
It's kind of funny, 9-17.
I believe Andy Nett back in this match now, Dave.
Andy's got this in the left corner. He goes inside out, does a Sean Lenning to Sean Lenning, and Sean almost makes the most unbelievable shot we've ever seen on the tour.
Well, Dave, to your credit, you did not write off the Minnesota Dreamboat in this match. You did not start etching.
No, I'm not an etcher.
You kept in, well, you have been in the past.
Well, and I've always been right.
Yeah.
And look at that beautiful reverse double bounce back wall kill shot
11,
serve
17.
from Andy Nett. 11-17, not 9-17, but 11-17
Short.
is the score.
And Andy Nett is just playing beautiful ball right now.
Second.
Andy Nett needs to find a second serve. This has been a huge liability in this match. And that's a pretty good second serve. Sean mishits it. And Andy, Dave, seems to have lost track of the ball there.
He didn't look back. That's a good lesson, Andy. You know, with Sean Lenning, he is so creative. If you're ever going to look back on a player, you have to look back with Sean. He'll go inside and out. That time it was what I would consider as a mishit.
Well, he was aiming for the right corner, but he mishit it. Oh, that's a great shot from Sean. You see how he goes down with that paddle shot, Dave, and hits it at about 50% speed.
18, serving 11.
Wow, that's a weird little backhanded flip from Andy, who's on the floor again. Sean just has this way of making people look like they've never played handball before.
Check it, Andy.
Well, that's a bit extreme.
Well,
I don't know if you've ever taken anyone in the court that hasn't played before, but the learning curve is steep.
19, 11.
19 to 11.
I know, Dave, you won the city championship the first time you ever played.
Now this
20,
is going to be the
your
third
final timeout.
timeout for Andy Nett. He doesn't have any more to tap into. Go ahead. First city championship.
Well, you won the first city championship the first time you ever played, but not everyone, Dave, is as skilled with their hand-eye coordination with both hands as you were. Unfortunately, you not only started, but you peaked in that very first tournament that you ever played.
Never won another one again.
Actually, you won 11 consecutive David Vincent Sr. Memorial tournaments, and that record, Dave, is still going. I mean, you haven't been back to defend your title in a couple of years, but I don't even know if they've had the event. You may still be the defending champion.
I still am, but here's a great thing about it. They were calling it the Memorial Tournament 10 years before he died. So that tells you something about the local community in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And then the year that he passed away, we were like, what do we call the tournament? I mean, we've been calling it the Memorial. He passed away. Should we say something like, you know, something about...
Now, did your dad watch you play in any of those events?
When he was dead, he did.
I know you were looking up at him anytime you hit one of your four-wall splat kills for the approval, but he was always looking away.
Yeah, it
just didn't seem to see them.
He made me think that he never saw one shot I've ever hit in my life. Look back, and he's always looking the other way.
But somehow, when you let that grounder go through your legs in the bottom of the ninth
20, serving 11.
in the
11, serving 20.
Far West Championships, he saw that. He was looking right at you as that ball just dribbled into the outfield, and you helplessly
threw
yourself on top of it.
My father didn't have great eyesight, so he went through my legs and he honked his horn and blinked his lights. I think he thought the other team was there, so it all worked out. They also had another fat kid playing third base, so that probably helped out a little bit.
$11, serving 20.
11 to 20. You heard the score. Referee Chip Morales.
Screen.
You know, Dave, you may disagree with me. You have
probably
a time or two in the past, but I feel like this is a closer match than 11-20. I feel like Andy Nett is on the verge of making this competitive.
Okay.
I see Sean Lenning's energy dipping a little bit here.
Really? He just dove on a serve.
Okay.
Sean was about ready to go wheelhouse on that one. Sean hitting the floor twice in that rally.
Now, Dave, the winner of this match will face Nadia Alvarado Jr. in the bottom semi, already set. The natural taking on TIS, the Irish stiletto, Charlie Shanks, who's #1 now when the new rankings are posted on Sunday morning. And I know, Dave, you as well as the hundreds of thousands of fans following this tour eagerly await those fresh rankings being posted the day after every race event.
I can't wait. I have a little ritual when you post those. I get my chocolate peanut butter ice cream and I really dissect it. Get out my notepad.
And for those listening, yes, those are posted at 10 a.m., so you already have your ice cream
Doesn't
out.
matter what time it is. Wow. Referee calling a screen there. That actually benefited Sean Lenning to be in the way.
Sean's in trouble here, Dave, in this match. I'm telling you that it's going to be hard for him to cross the finish line. He's got his hands on both knees here, Dave. He's starting to breathe heavy. Andy Nett looks like he's just now getting his legs under him.
You see, Andy is now hopping around. We're going to see a timeout from Sean Lenning, and Andy Nett's now got complete control of this match, only trailing by 5. It's the race for 8 in Anchorage, Alaska at the Alaska Club in Midtown.
And you're welcome by the way.
For calling the timeout?
Nope. For thanking me for teaching me that this match was actually a lot closer than the score indicated and that Andy Nett was, in fact, in this match. And now he's cut that lead in half and seems to be on the verge of maybe catching Sean Lenning and possibly pulling an upset here.
There is something for everyone at the Alaska Club, from swimming pools to court sports to group fitness classes. So many choices, all day, workouts all the time. Offering fitness, handball, spa memberships. The Alaska Club, the way fitness should be. TheAlaskaClub.com. I checked them out earlier today.
Well, there's actually 18 clubs here in Anchorage. Now, the population in Anchorage is only 250,000, so extrapolate that out, Dave. 18 clubs for 250,000 people. I mean, they really have this market cornered, and there's no...
Keep talking. There's no...
Well, Dave, it's not a surprise when you come to these clubs that they would have this market corner, because it's just an incredibly well-run facility.
That's really one club. 1,388 people per club.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good figure.
Yeah.
1,388. Actually, it's 13,888. And I've seen clubs that had 13,000 members, like the Molten Athletic Club in Portland, Oregon. But here, I don't think they've got the 13,000 members.
You might want to take a couple plays off now. Yeah. Maybe mix in a meal or two.
Okay, I haven't eaten in a while.
Yeah. And that was a skip.
Andy now serving again here after that timeout.
15 serving 20.
David, even as great as Sean Lenning is, when you're tired, it's very difficult to execute your shots.
Wow, how did Andy get that ball? Sean put it in the perfect spot, and Sean went to that overhand slice that he does, and Andy gets his 16th point, now only 4 away from Sean. Sean's 5 away from the semis.
Well, Dave, this match reminds me of the finals at the LAAC, where Sean Lenning barely hung on to defeat Alan Garner. It took every ounce of physical strength to close out that match. And I feel like, Dave, Sean is going to need to lay it all on the line here to score these 5 points, because Andy's fresh. He's not giving Sean anything at this point. And Andy's serve, Dave, has
20 serving 16.
really overpowered Sean Lenning's serve here since halftime.
That's a nice pass right there from Andy. Sean picks it up.
Oh, that's a great shot from Sean. And there's the pre-dive. The referee lets the play continue.
As he should.
Yeah.
You see Sean Lenning talking to himself here. Scoring the 21st point.
21 serving 16.
Good return there from Andy. But Sean just hits a great shot down the wall there. I thought Andy had a play into the back wall there, but the ball just got behind him. I don't think he anticipated the hop away from him.
Andy doesn't have a timeout here.
Would he get a technical, Dave, if he tried to call a timeout?
Well, he should, but he won't.
16.
Yeah.
Because we have a referee that wouldn't understand that.
But by the rules, is that a technical?
No.
Okay.
Hold it.
So then the referee does understand it. Is what
No,
you're
he
saying.
doesn't.
Okay. Just trying to follow the logic there in that argument.
I think you understand
A little
completely.
bit lost.
I think you completely understand.
22-16.
Sean Lenning looks like a different Lenning right
Short.
now. Boy, that ball just hooked about 6 feet.
Second.
Oh, and Sean took a beautiful cut at that. And that's the shot we've seen him roll out flat so many hundreds of times and just
22.
comes up short there. Sometimes the best contact, Dave, just comes up barely short. You don't understand it. I thought he hit that as about as pure as you can hit it. Now, Dave, for my money, Nadi Alvarado is playing the best handball of any player left in this event.
So far
Yeah,
in this event,
I
he
don't know
has.
if I've seen Nadi
Second.
playing at this kind of level.
But we've only seen him play one match.
Well, 2, actually.
I've only
Also-
seen him play one.
Well, he made quick work of John Iglesias, at one point serving 7 consecutive aces in that match,
Didn't see
routing him 25-6. He's outscored his opponents 50-14. thus far
Short.
in the event.
That time Sean decided to put a reverse that was going to double bounce, and he just missed it by a fraction. Now second serve. Sean's second serve is just unbelievable, really.
Yeah, that wasn't one of his best, but sometimes, Dave, I'd rather see him serve a first serve than a second serve.
Referee calling that way late. Letting the players play through it and then calling it depending on what his instincts are. And everyone in the stands looking over at him, wondering what he's doing here.
Oh,
wow.
Great shot from Andy. It was a nice short hop sidearm stroke from Sean Lenning. I thought he had Andy in trouble, but Andy gets down low from that 6'3" frame and hits the left-handed kill right down the middle of the front wall. Oh, and Sean Lenning, Dave, won for the highlight reel. A pre-dive return of serve fist kill right in front of Andrew, the Minnesota Dreamboat Nett.
22-16.
That ball's short.
I agree with that.
Well, it is short. Everybody knows it.
Feel it. Both disagree.
Even the line judges who are not paying attention saw it.
22-16. Oh, sorry. Second serve.
Interesting. Sean Lenning said that referee didn't call it the proper way. Should have said second serve.
Second serve.
Sean actually goes for an offensive three-wall shot. You see guys hit the lazy wraparound. Sean pinches the three-wall shot, Dave, really tight to the front wall, and it shoots off at a really difficult angle to handle. Usually gives him a big setup. And Sean with a terrible air there.
16-23.
See if Andy can get some momentum back here. He was charging, but he hasn't scored since. Sean back down to his knees. Wow, look at that. Sean goes over the top, keeps that ball in a reverse situation, and Andy now giving himself a push-up. More as punishment for not reading that hook.
Well, he does 1,000 push-ups a day, Dave. I don't know if you call that punishment.
Well, now he only has to do 999.
He says on tournament days, Dave, he only does 500 anyway.
Okay, well, now he only has to do 499. And now Sean Lenning is serving to go into the semifinals and is trying to conclude our broadcast day.
24-16.
It's kind of frustrating because I'm enjoying this.
Short.
We are staying in the same house. There's a possibility we could continue a conversation later tonight.
Well,
a slim possibility, of course.
Well, we don't talk unless our headsets are on, so bring some equipment with us. Nice shot right there from Andy.
And Andy goes inside out. Sean hustling to get back to the center of the court. Andy senses that.
You have one. One left.
And Sean's just going to hang out here, Dave, on the floor.
Okay, last time out.
And both players now out of timeouts. You can see just how physical this match is, as both these incredible athletes have used all of their timeouts. If Andy Nett is going to come back here and force overtime, Dave, he'll have to do it without a break. And Sean Lenning wouldn't have a break to stop him if he were to get hot. So we're guaranteed, Dave, nonstop action from here until the end of this match. Now that could be 2 rallies, or it could be unlimited, as you have to win by 2 here. So we'll just have to wait and see.
You're watching the race for 8, Anchorage, Alaska, where it's, well, still snowing. It hasn't stopped, they said, for the last 103 years. Complete snow all the time.
Huh.
Interesting place. It's a little chilly outside. Saw the town squirrel roasting his nuts on an open fire this morning as we drove in.
And there's Julia Lugo sitting behind our #1 ranked player, Dave. She is maybe the happiest person I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen her not smiling. In fact, Dave, I saw her in the airport in Dublin. She had just flown for 36 straight hours, including a few delays, and she looked like the happiest person I've ever seen. It looked like someone just handed her $1 million after a 36-hour trip.
She's happy. But you
Yeah.
see Charlie Shanks is also happy. He was giving some Northern Ireland gang signs there to the camera operator Jason Rutherford, who flew in from Portland and
Play ball.
KATU TV. He knows our good friend Kara Mack, Chris Garrad, Jeff Kastner.
16, serving 24.
I hate to name drop all these celebrities,
right.
but I did. 16 to 24.
Well, Patty Stanger told me that name dropping is more just someone trying to impress, so you wouldn't really hold it against them.
Oh, Andy made a mistake there. Sean did not make him pay, though. Sean does the power back wall shot. Nice play from Andy Nett in that rally. Sean overextended himself a little bit, but Andy now serving at 17 to 24. We're going to 25.
We've seen
17,
comebacks from
24.
24-17 before to force overtime.
But we did not see that comeback actually create a win.
All I said was
Short.
it forced overtime.
You're right, but
Short.
I'm also saying that it's
Maybe
never
you're
created
taking
a
it
win.
the next
Feels
step.
I called it
Yeah.
short.
I saw it short.
They both agree.
Andy knew it. No complaint from Andy Nett.
It also looked like he took a slide. I'm not sure if it's wet from when Sean went on his knees right there.
Okay, that's a delayed call from our referee. Sean
No.
knows it didn't slide.
Second serve.
I really enjoy this bad reffing.
Check it.
So you're kind of masochist?
No, I just, yes, I am, but
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think
17,
it makes the
24,
game more
two
colorful.
serve.
I think we should have this referee ref all of the games. I mean, without it, we hear you talk for 5 straight minutes about the same thing, 12 different ways of saying it. That ball
Hold it.
broke.
Sorry.
I don't
It
think
just looked
we've
like
seen
you
a
stopped
broken
and
ball
then had
yet
to
in this
reach for it.
event, Dave.
No, but I'm also polling for that.
17, serving 24.
There's a nice serve, but it just hangs up.
Sean now reaching for balls. He's not really getting himself in a good position to be offensive with those pickups.
We're 2 minutes away from the longest match we've had today.
18, serving 24.
You can see the average match is somewhere around 42 minutes. That ball was just huge reverse, but it sounded like it broke, Dave.
Yeah, I agree with you. It sounded like it broke when Sean was bouncing it, and it did break.
That's the first break that we've had, and I believe it broke back when I said it broke. Either that or I just am exceptional on my ball breakage
That was the other warm-up ball.
premonition.
That was the other warm-up ball. That was the other warm-up ball. Can I get another ball?
Andy's very particular about this. I don't think you need to have a label on the
No,
ball in order
I
for it to be a good ball. I
In
mean,
fact, a ball without a label on it is better. It's been in Chip's pocket. It was already warmed up. The only reason the label came off is because they warmed up with it for 10 minutes. Now they're going to bring in a new ball that's cold. It takes a ball 5 to 10 minutes to actually warm up and play true. And I think you'll see this ball, Dave, very dead for the first 3 or 4 rallies. I think we'll see a short serve here from Andy Nett on this first serve, and I think you'll see a little bit of a different game here in these next couple of rallies.
well, let's see who has the fresher feet. So we sit here and watch these guys warm up this ball. I disagree with them not playing with that original ball.
I think the referee has to put his foot down there and say this is our second ball. And Dave, I'm predicting a short
Okay,
serve here
play
by
ball.
1 foot.
I'm predicting an
18,
overhit,
serving
6
24.
foot off the side wall, up high off the back wall revolving door. An overhit.
And we're both way off there, Dave.
$19, serving 24.
Andy Nett with another point. That ball looked like it slid.
And Dave, I've been through this with Sean
Thought
Lenning
you had a good look at it.
where a ball broke in the tiebreaker.
Thought you wanted that.
It was very controversial.
I'll call it now.
But Dave, this really can change a match entirely when you bring a new ball in late in the match like this.
20, serving 24.
Very difficult for the returner, Dave. You just feel completely rushed and unsure.
It's going to be a big setup for Sean.
And it didn't look like Andy saw that too well, Dave. I think that could have been a screen.
24, serving 20.
Referee only calls screens if he apologizes first.
Oh, and Andy goes for the kill, Dave, on the return serve, and Andy hits himself with
Wow.
that ball.
And that ends this match. Sean Lenning wins on that. Sean Lenning would have lost the serve, and Andy would have been serving at 20-24.
And Andy had such an amazing serve going down the right at that time. Andy should have won that rally. Just such a strange way to end the match. But Andy's quarterfinal loss streak continues, unfortunately, for MDB fans. And, of course, Sean now back on track after a stunning round of 16 loss in Houston at the last event. Sean Lenning will now be where he's used to being in the semifinals, taking on Noddy Jr. Hasn't lost to Noddy Jr., Dave, since 2007. And, of course, Luis Moreno will be taking on Charlie Shanks, a battle of a former number one taking on the new number one. So, Dave, tomorrow, possibly even more exciting than today, we'll also see those 5th place playoffs, the 9th place playoffs. And for those that think, you know, the playoffs is just sort of fun hit and giggle event, the winner of Aaron Garner and John Iglesias tomorrow morning will be an invited top 8 pro at the next event, and that means incentive money, that means Elite 8 status, that means taking on a qualifier instead of a 5 through 8 guy, and it means a lot of ranking points and a good chance to qualify for Seattle.
All right, well, we're going to look forward to that. That'll be at 10 o'clock Alaska time. I mean, this place has its own time zone that no other country or portion of the world shares with. But Alaska has its own time zone. So that'll be 10 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific, for the Aaron Garner, John Iglesias match, which, by the way, is one I would pay about $100 to watch, although I would not pay you to watch it. I'd just pay somebody.
That answered my next question.
Okay, I knew it was going to come. That's why I brought that up. Immediately afterwards, it'll be Lenning versus Noddy Alvarado Jr., and then we are going to go into Charlie Shanks and Luis Moreno. That'll be at 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to wrap this one up. We have some great handball tomorrow, as we already illustrated. Saturday Night Live will be rocking at this location at the Alaska Club Midtown, Dave. That'll be tomorrow. We'll have more action at 10 o'clock in the morning for Linda Manning, as well as Jason Rutherford, our camera operator, did a great job this weekend. And Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll talk to you tomorrow here at racefor8.com. Have a great night.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
to be a perfect parent.
There are two people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.